Hello, welcome to this February 18th, 2020 episode of Rich Insights. I'm Don Rich, the Chief Investment Officer of Esoterica Capital Management. Today's topic is the U.S. labor market. Before we get into it though, I want to talk about, highlight just the two big data points that we witnessed overnight. All right. One was the fourth quarter Walmart earnings. They came in soft. And of course, Walmart is the second largest online retailer in the U.S. Most people don't realize it. Walmart's the second largest, only to Amazon. So, whenever Walmart's showing weak numbers, that's obviously a concern. And again, they weren't terrible numbers, they were just weak. Now, in addition to that, Apple also guided down on earnings going forward due to the coronavirus. All right, those are two concerning pieces of information we should keep in mind. As equities are at all-time highs and we see these sorts of pieces of information, we want to keep these in mind because these could be very important going forward. All right, let's get to the labor market here. Come on. Let's see what the U.S. labor market looks like here. So I'm going to immediately jump to the charts here. Here we have the non-farm payroll number in the U.S. All right, non-farm payroll number in the U.S. So what we have here is the January print came in at 225,000. All right, 225,000 new jobs were created in the month of January. That's a good number. As you can see, it's a little hard to see the 225 there, but that's a good number. That compares to our 12-month moving average here of 171. That's this heavy blue line here. And then the 3-year moving average of 182. All right, so we're well in excess of the average monthly job gains for the last 1 or 3 years. All right. So there's something in this, in the January labor market number for the bulls and the bears. This is clearly information for the bulls. Right, 225,000. It's a really good number, right? But it's got an asterisk on it. The thing that concerns people is it was an extremely accommodating January in terms of there was little snowfall and the temperatures were very mild, and so that makes us think that the number might be inflated a little bit. All right. So one way to check that. Again, this chart's for the bulls. Let's go to what's called a household survey. All right, so when we get the labor market information in the U.S., we get two pieces of information. Non-farm payroll is when the government surveys businesses. All right, so it's the strength of the labor market from the business perspective. What we're looking at here, this household survey, is when the government surveys individuals, surveys workers. All right, so we like to see these two numbers reinforce each other. Whether the government surveys the businesses or they survey the workers, we like to see that they're giving us the same information. This month, that did not happen. You can see the January number came in at almost minus 100,000 jobs. We lost jobs according to this survey. All right, so as I said, there's something for the bulls and the bears in here. 225 is a really good number, and we would have liked to seen that be reinforced with the household survey. That didn't happen. All right, that's the one concerning piece. So let's go on next. There's also something called the JOLTS number. JOLTS stands for job openings and labor turnover. All right, there's two separate pieces of information in their database. So in terms of job openings, you can see this massive decline in job openings over the last few months. All right, this thing has clearly rolled over. And as you can see from the Great Recession until recently, this was a one-way train, up. Labor market just kept getting tighter and tighter. Now we're seeing these job openings decline. This is a very concerning piece of information. All right, so that's from the bears' perspective. What about from the bulls' perspective? Well, we said again, job openings, or JOLTS is job openings and labor turnover. On the labor turnover side, one of the metrics in terms of labor turnover is the percentage of voluntary people leaving their jobs, right? Those that are just quitting, those walking away, versus the involuntaries, those that are laid off. All right. Sometimes this is called the shove it indicator, right? Just Johnny Paycheck, right? The take this job and shove it song that made him was probably his biggest hit. If you enjoy country music. Well, what we can see here is the number of people that are voluntarily walking away from their jobs is still quite high, much higher than it was in this 2006-2007 era here. All right, so this is a very, very strong indicator for the bulls. All right. So as I said, the January number, 225, a headline number, look really, really strong. But there are some imperfections, right? Something for the bulls and the bears. From the bulls, we had 225, and we got the number of people that are walking away from their jobs still being at all-time highs. The imperfections, right? From the bears, the 225 number wasn't reinforced with the household survey. And also, the job openings has declined considerably. All right. Now, why worry about this? Well, the labor market is obviously critically important, right? We're a consumption-driven economy. And for the most part, when the U.S. consumers have a job, they will continue to spend. It's really that simple. And so anytime we start to see imperfections in the labor, we have some concern. Now, the big thing about the labor market, you have to keep in mind, labor market is what economists call a late cycle indicator. Late cycle, right? It's the last thing to go. It stays the strongest for the longest out of all the macroeconomic indicators. And when it goes, then your concerns of a recession skyrocket. All right. So, our message for today. The labor market is fine for now, right? But there are some clouds on the horizon. I'm Don Rich. You've just experienced a rich insight. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll talk again soon. Thank you.